got it, you got it, you just don't know you got it. You got it all inside of you. It's inside, you got it, you got it. Let me help you to spot it. You've got it all inside of you. This world can be a prison, a play yard. Peace of mind's inside, it ain't far above the clouds, so prepare to take off as we come together off the radar, far away from everything. Let's release the stress and strain. No need for the baggage, babe, cause we came here to heal that pain.
Got about 5 minutes.
For the ways of the world, they blind you. Allow me to take this time to remind you, in the same place that your hurt resides, you can find heaven and healing right inside you. And if you need help, let me guide you past the lies that you're aligned to, till you're redesigned to find truth in the beauty I see inside you. This world can be your prison to play, y'all.
All right, we got about 5 minutes. We're going to be getting started.
Above the clouds,
setting things up. Welcome. Go ahead and type a comment. Let me know where you're transmitting live from.
Let's release the stress and strain.
Stay high. Be friendly.
Because we came here to heal that
Let's
pain.
go.
The lighthouse. Guiding the righteous is all that I'm about. And now I'll be doing it till my light's out and my time's out. I'm only passing on lessons that I received from those steering me in the right route. They always said I was fly, but that I had to believe in my wings and touch the skies. Got the guts to try, possess a lust for life, required for me to do more than just get by. And now I see you in the distance, amongst the misfits, in the midst that clouds your vision of all the gifts that God gave you when He made you.
All right.
Stars, moons,
shout out to everybody on Facebook.
So through the fog of all mediocrity, I'm shining this little light for all to see. You already possess your own fresh, but if you have trouble finding it, just call on me. This world can be a prison, a play yard. Peace of mind's inside, it ain't far above the clouds, so prepare to take off.
This new mic out,
together off the radar, far away from everything. Let's release the stress and strain. No need for the bad.
Talk about these thoughts,
cause we came here to heal that pain. This world can be your prison, a play yard. Peace of minds inside.
About 4.5 minutes. Shout out to everybody checking in on IG. You got me one of these little mics I'll be seeing y'all using, so I decided I'm gonna grab one. I'm loud and clear. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. Shout out. If you want to check out any of the screen shares, or just if you want to support your boy, you can go ahead and subscribe on YouTube. You don't have to watch on YouTube. You can sit here on IG and check me out. We got about, oh shoot, my son just trying to, hold on y'all, dang. Sorry about that, my son trying to get with me. Son, if you're listening, pause.
I want to talk to you today from the subject, how to be crazy.
Okay, sorry y'all. Let me see if I can clip this thing on here so I ain't got to hold it the whole time. Dang, why is my phone blinking? Hey y'all, my phone's blinking ever since my son called me. Am I still coming through cool on IG? Y'all let me know, because my phone is like blinking. Somebody leave a comment.
At your greatness, feeling ill prepared, just a little
crazy. All right, we got about 3 more minutes.
Leaning on a logic, keeping you from your cares, just a little crazy. Just
all right, 2 turntables, a microphone. Respect to the DJs. Enough respect. I used to be a DJ.
Your folks were raised in play there, so
hold on, y'all. Let me check my IG out. For everybody on Facebook, welcome.
To keep you there. Just a little crazy, just a little scared. Chances of choice and curses living your cares. Just a little crazy.
All right, I'm gonna just come out and come back in.
With no flash of flare. Days are all the same.
Sorry, yo.
No glow or glare. The sickness that secures you when fears are all shared. With very few are crazy and many are just scared. The status quo's tragic but lingers in the air, blocking the blessings that await you upstairs. There's only one way that you can go from here.
All right, just 3 more minutes, y'all.
Just a little scared.
More people on Facebook and YouTube.
If you can bear to give chase, it awaits all who dare to run it down and grab it, regardless of the fears. Nothing those crazy enough to do it scared. So I'll fight on until I right all wrongs.
All right, give me a sec, y'all.
Until the night lights on, I'ma take flight, cause it's the right time for me to write and enlighten the minds I've spawned, to show up, grow up, and glow up, rearrange reality.
We'll try this again.
Enemies till they throw up.
Trying to get things together.
Glow up. Putting it down for minds till I go up above past failures, ignoring all fears, cause that false evidence ain't as real as it appears. When you drown out doubt and
all right, y'all, we back.
And focus on your
Had to
goal
set
and
up
the way
my
it'll be
G.
made clear. So visualize all the victories that you want to see, and what your mind projects is what you're gonna see. On the screen displaying your lifetime, you'll find that it projects what originates in the mind.
This used to be a movie.
I wonder if it's the mic.
Way
Take this mic out.
Up there, somewhere, is a projector. They never took the projector out. Up here is a big
it's the mic. All right.
What you see on that screen
Sorry, y'all.
does not originate on that screen. What you see on the screen originates where? In the projector. So you see, what you are experiencing on the screen of your life does not originate on the screen. If you don't like what's on the screen, it doesn't do any good to get
all right, well, we're going to get started. If you're on Facebook and YouTube, we're going to get started. Those who ain't here just ain't here. Sorry, IG.
It would reflect on the back wall. If you want to change what is on the screen of experience, you have to go up to the projector of mind. What I see with my inner eye has power to displace and replace that which is in my outer world. The film in the projector is greater than the image on the screen. If you want to change the image on the screen, you got to go back up to the projector and change the film. What is that? The thought. What you see out there is really controlled by what you're seeing in.
Oh, give me 1 sec, y'all. All right.
And I don't drink anymore.
Ooh, give me 1 sec, y'all. As you can see, all right. God bless everybody. Woo! Trying to get this together. For those on IG, sorry, had to turn the phone off on you. I don't know what's going on. But try to discard the video and go live again, but this thing's acting funky. And this is the reason why you need to follow and subscribe on YouTube. Facebook has been fairly faithful to me. So shout out. Facebook, we basically have kind of blown up on Facebook. I'm at the page is at like 12,000 plus, going on 13,000 followers. Literally at the beginning of the month, I had about 1,000. I can definitely say for anybody that's trying to do something like this, where you're trying to grow a platform or anything like that, consistency is key. Consistency is definitely key. It's important. One thing I know I've done is I've been posting every day, finding and sourcing more videos and content centered around sobriety, centered around these, entertainers and, people of note that have discovered sobriety or are seeking it and working on, walking that walk. And so I think it's really inspired a lot of people, and it's inspired me. It keeps me excited. I've gotten better with my little editing skills. So a lot of times I'll be up till like 5 o'clock in the morning, just, getting new content to present to you guys to really, as I say, push the S. I believe in the S, and that S being sobriety. And you guys know me. Anybody who knows me knows at this point that that's all I'm about pushing. I'm gonna push this S as much as I can and encourage all of those that are walking in their sobriety to do the same. This is something we do proudly, unapologetically. Like I told you guys before, when I used to see people push the S, when I used to see people talk about their sobriety, they were talking as if they were, some kind of charity case that was looking for sympathy all day. And my thing is, sobriety is something to be absolutely proud of. absolutely proud of, and it's worthy of you defending it at all costs. And with that being said, the subject for today, like I told you guys before, time to get a little straightening going on, and we're gonna get some straightening going on. So, like I had said in the video, you know, to kind of push this particular broadcast, if you have a significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, friend, homie, I don't care, anybody who you've dealt with while walking in this sobriety who has engaged with you on that, they need to come on. You need to bring them, because I have a message for them, and I have a message for you, and I have a message for you that I want to say in front of them, so that there's a complete understanding of who I am. If you've been watching me and they ain't been watching me, I want them to know that ain't nobody running from nothing. You're going to understand exactly what I'm advising, you know, those that are in sobriety, how to deal with certain individuals. In this case, thoughts. And I'm going to talk about what a thought is. All right. And you need to find out, for those that you bring to the table, you need to find out if you're dealing with a thought. You very well may be dealing with a thought. Okay. So we're going to get into it today. Today, we're going to talk about thoughts, why I've decided to have this broadcast, what they are, what a thought is, what a thought isn't, and I've got a message for both. Those are the thoughts, those that aren't, and a message for you if you're walking in sobriety and you're dealing with either one. So I want everybody to know what's what, all right? I want everybody to know what's up. You already know it's about unapologetic sobriety with me. So in that vein, bring them on, bring them here. They got a problem, they can come see me, because there's going to be some hard pills. There's going to be some hurt feelings. I can guarantee you that by the time this is over. So feel free to share this, okay? So first, I'm going to get into just a little background. Well, first of all, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm trying to blow that up. Facebook, we're over 12,000, almost at 13,000 followers. On IG, I think we're a little under 2,000, trying to grow that. So if you're not on IG, if you haven't followed me there, make sure you do that. The YouTube channel, I got to get at least, we're at like maybe 200 and something, because I really haven't been focusing on that, which I'm trying to start doing now. I'm going to be doing some exclusive content specifically on that channel. So I want everybody that's on Facebook, everybody on IG to hook a link up with me there. And then also on TikTok as well. All right, because this wave is growing. If you've seen the videos, you probably at this point know that there's a lot more people involved in sobriety pushing this S than you probably knew before you ran into this channel. All right, and so more people need to know about that. All right, more people need to know about that. Yes, I am definitely going to keep going, and I appreciate the another thing, everybody who's DM'd me, whether you sent me videos, whether you have just sent some encouragement, whether you've read the book, gotten the book, and let me know that it's affected you positively in some way. I want you to know that I appreciate every last one of you. I try to respond to every last one of you, and if I haven't, let this be my response. Thank you. I'm humbled, but I'm still got work to do, so I'm going to keep going. I want to represent sobriety for all of those that are either struggling with it, thinking about getting down with it. Maybe you're sober curious, or maybe you feel a little bit of shame about your sobriety. Maybe you don't understand or have a strong and empowered perspective on sobriety. I want to be the man to bring that to you, all right, and to help clear your vision, your sight, your mind up, so that you have the proper perspective on how to look at your sobriety. All right. So, and today is going to be no different. Today is definitely an important broadcast. So like I said, share it on your platforms, encourage people to come check it out, because this is unique. What I do here, nobody else does, period. All right. I'm going to be dropping a little Bible on you, dropping a little Quran on you. All right. Personal thoughts on you for personal experience. And Specifically, I'm going to be speaking on this topic because of the clients. I'm speaking on behalf of my clients. Now, I'm not going to mention clients in particular because you guys know I sign non-disclosure agreements with everybody, all of my clients. So if you come to me and you say, hey, I want to, get a consultation, you want to pay for some time to talk to me one-on-one, as part of my package, you get the NDA. So anything that you tell to me, I don't get on, you ain't got to worry about me going online and saying, oh, such and such, I could, said this, and that. I may speak about things like today, I'm going to be speaking about common things that I've heard, but I will never, ever speak on anybody in particular. All right. Unless they're being interviewed or they come on willingly. Outside of that, I don't point you out because I'm not going to, disrespect the trust that we have and that I'm contractually bound to. It's one thing for me to say, hey, you could just trust me, but I believe that that's not enough when we're dealing with this. So I sign paperwork. Okay, I sign paperwork. I will send you a non-disclosure agreement. I will sign it. You will sign it. So you can't talk about me and I can't talk about you. And that way you're protected. But I will bring up concerns like what I'm going to bring up today, because what I'm bringing up today, the reason why I'm talking about thoughts is because more clients than I expected have all been talking about, I won't say all, let me not say all, many have had, there's one area, there's a lot of concerns, but there's one area, common concern that I was not expecting at all since I started in my recovery coaching, that I haven't heard anybody talk about, and I think I know why, but y'all know I'm that guy, so I'm going to talk about it, and so I figure I'm going to bring it up so that if anybody is suffering in silence, like we say here, when we recover loudly, we help keep others from dying quietly. Anybody who's dying quietly and dealing with this issue, okay, because I believe that without the NDAs, I don't think anybody would have spoken to me about it. But now since they have, I'm going to bring this common thing up that not all of my clients, but more than I expected to hear about. And then I had to reflect on my own experience and realize that I kind of, to a degree, had dealt with this as well. All right. And that's these thoughts. All right. And so what we're going to start with is, and for those that want to follow along, I'm going to screen share it, but if you're on IG, well, shoot, if you're on IG, you're not seeing this because I couldn't get that thing to work. All right, where's my phone at? Man, I'm not going to disrespect those that are already here. We're going to go ahead and move. Yes, confidentiality, absolutely. It is of utmost. So just so you know, if you pay for a consultation with me, confidentiality will be respected. Absolutely. All right, so let me share this here. Give me 1 sec. We're going to be starting off. I'm going to read Proverbs 21, all right, verse 1 through 12, all right? And I'm going to go put it up on the screen for those that are on YouTube. Let's see here. Let's get this rolling. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Let's share it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so for those on YouTube, you can check that out. Proverbs 21, 1 through 12 goes like this. In the Lord's hand, the king's heart is a stream of water that he channels towards all who please him. A person may think their own ways are right, but the Lord weighs the heart. To do what is right and just is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. Haughty eyes and a proud heart, the unplowed field of the wicked, produce sin. The plans of the diligent lead to profit, as surely as haste leads to poverty. A fortune made by a lying tongue is a fleeting vapor and a deadly snare. The violence of the wicked will drag them away, for they refuse to do what is right. The way of the guilty is devious, but the conduct of the innocent is upright. Better to live on a corner of the roof than to share a house with a quarrelsome wife. The wicked crave evil. their neighbors get no mercy from them. When a mocker is punished, the simple gain wisdom. By paying attention to the wise, they get knowledge. The righteous one takes note of the house of the wicked and brings the wicked to ruin. All right. So when we look at this verse, right? Let me unshare this. Okay. So when we look at this verse, there are a few things that stand out. First, before I begin breaking this verse down, I want to define what a thought is from the standpoint of sobriety. What is a thought? Now, in common parlance, right, the word thought is actually an acronym, which to a degree is still appropriate. And it means that hoe over there, right? That's why when they talk about Tatianas, you talk about ratchet thoughts, stuff like that, right? That hoe over there. So in our case, that hoe over there, or as I like to say, that hater over there, those haters over there, right, are people. Hold on, let me close this ticker off. Okay. That hater over there, a person that leverages their relationship with you in an attempt to undermine your sobriety, usually through peer pressure, sex, or shame. You could throw guilt on there too. I'm going to read that definition again. A thought, that hater over there, a person that leverages their relationship with you in an attempt to undermine your sobriety, usually through peer pressure, sex, or shame. And one thing I've noticed, a lot of my clients seem to be dealing with thoughts or people who engage in thought-like behavior. I talk about reaction types in my book. And the shame, guilt, right? All of these things I mentioned in my book, and I talk about how to combat them. But the thing that surprised me about the clients that I've spoken to is many of them have talked about, not that this comes from a friend, fraternity brothers, homeboys, fellow people in the gang. I expect that. A lot of these thoughts of these people's wives, girlfriends, but I'm talking about mainly wives. Crazy. If I hear about one more wife or girlfriend, significant other, boyfriend, the one person that's supposed to be, your rib, I got people telling me, yeah, man, I'm trying to quit, but my wife's birthday came up and she told me to have a drink with her. But now she's mad because I got drunk and we had an argument. I'm like, wait, hold on. Your wife? Yes, my wife. And not one, not two, many. It seems like the closest people to these individuals are undermining their sobriety. That's thought-like behavior. Somebody who you don't care about, who's like, man, you don't drink, man, you're a chump. All right, that's one thing. But somebody you've made a covenant to God with, okay, knows that you have a drinking problem, has been there for the problems, then turns around. Some have been sober for years. Then their girlfriend, who's been with them through the bottom, tells them, why don't you just have a little drink? Y'all, trust me, if it wasn't so prevalent, I wouldn't even waste my breath. But it is. And so I'm here, I'm here to address you. Now, I am going to talk about trust this too. For any ladies, because I do deal with a lot of men, not to say that a boyfriend can't be doing this as well. All right. But to the ladies here that may say, well, look, that's on him. Hey, why are you blaming us? Trust me, Personal accountability, I got you. I want to make sure you're here so that when I start applying the personal accountability, you can hear about what I'm going to tell them they're personally accountable for. And the advice that I give them, trust me, it has absolutely nothing to do with you. I want you here for it because it has nothing to do with you. Yeah. So don't worry, relax. I'm on you. Then I'm going to talk to him. But I want you here so that you can't say you didn't hear it from me. Okay? I'm going to speak on behalf. I'm going to speak for those that can't say nothing. All right? That's why I wanted you here. Okay, so first, we're going to go down to break down Proverbs 21, because in order to deal with the issue, I'm always big on analyzing an issue. That's how you shrink it, you eliminate fear from it, and you can move through it, to it, through it, and grow out of it. All right? So, just a few pieces from Proverbs 21. All right, Proverbs 21, verses 1 through 12. Okay, so we're talking about thought-like behavior here. What we're going to be talking about is the thought-like behavior and the characteristics, thought-like characteristics. Because there are some people out there that may think they're not acting like thoughts, but they are. So we're going to break it down in case so that anybody who's confused, we can unconfuse you. Yeah, I just always wanted to use that word. It's not even a real word, but we're going to unconfuse you, okay? So, first it says here, the violence of the wicked will drag them away, for they refuse to do what is right. So, hard-headedness. So, say for instance, you're a man, your brother, you stop drinking, but maybe your wife doesn't drink or your girlfriend does drink. Okay. And she's, in the beginning, she's encouraging you, but maybe it's her she's going out, you're going out with her to eat or whatever. And for the first time, and it's going to happen, I'm not going to say it's going to happen because every woman isn't a thought. They're going to test that boundary. And anybody who's been in a relationship know about testing boundaries. And that kind of sits at the center of this. It's less about the drinking. It's more about the privilege to test boundaries. All right. She gonna say, well, why don't you have something to drink? Or this one. Everybody's heard this one. And this is why I don't get along with a lot of women, because I got a thing about this. They want to eat off your plate. They want to eat off your plate. You sit down, you're eating, you get your food, she gets her food, right? You got, say, some shrimp marsala or something. She take her fork, doop, grab her shrimp and eats it. Me personally, I don't rock with that. Never have. Never have. If I offer you something, cool. But for the most part, man's plate is his plate. That's how I feel. I understand that some men are like, hey, I'm like, hey, it's your business. I'm talking to you about me personally. And anybody who's with me understands that. But they all do the same thing. At some point, they got to test that boundary. Hard-headed. You tell them you don't want something, they're going to try. It's thought-like behavior. That's thought-like behavior. You know what it is, but you want to try and push the boundary, right? Refuse to do what is right. Now, it's one thing you try it once, you get told, hey, that's not how I rock. There are certain things that are deal breakers for me. Hanging up in my face, you hang up in my face, it's the last time we'll ever speak. You don't have to worry about it. There's only one time in my life I ever let that boundary get crossed. I'm single. So needless to say, only one time, one person that ever did that, and I was like, all right. And of course, that person did that, then they did it again, and they did it again, and since then, it's a wrap. Don't happen. I ain't got no time for thoughts. Ain't nothing they can give me. Everybody's got a box, so I can get a box from a non-thought. You understand me? Hard-headedness. And like I said here, verse 9, Better to live in a corner of the roof than share a house with the quarrelsome wife. Okay? If somebody's quarreling, fighting against your sobriety, they're, I'm not going to say they're the reason you relapse, because you make that choice. You as the man, or you as the person fighting for your sobriety, make that choice. If your boyfriend can get you to drink, he's a jerk, he's a thought. But at the end of the day, you make the choice. You gotta hold that, and you have to be accountable for that. Now, what you do to keep your environment conducive to your sobriety, might have to make some changes about what's around you and who's around you, right? Okay. Another verse here. When a mocker is punished, the simple gain wisdom. By paying attention to the wise, they get knowledge, right? Learn from others' mistakes. You can gain wisdom. When you see people who have something, say you see a rich man who blows out his money, right? Mocks the things that he's earned, loses it. Take note of that. Take note of the relationships that end because people are challenging boundaries they shouldn't be challenging, or undermining other people's sobriety, and learn from it. It's one thing I've learned in just talking to my clients, realizing, one, this is a epidemic. It's an unfortunate problem. The people that are closest to you are fighting against your sobriety. Why is that? Right? So you have to learn. And I'm about to talk to you about why that is. And as it says here, the righteous person takes note of the house of the wicked and brings the wicked to ruin. If you're going to protect your sobriety and stay righteous in your sobriety, you have to bring that house of wickedness to ruin. That home inside of you, and whoever's building on it. They may be outside of you. It goes from your internal fears, internal doubts, your internal cravings, to the people outside that are bringing peer pressure, sex. Oh, well, we're here on vacation, and I think it would really just set the night if we had some wine together. I mean, just for this night, for me. I've heard this over and over again. I'm sick of hearing it. It is a problem. Didn't know it existed like that, but found out that yes, it is. So I'm going to speak up and hopefully empower those that may be dealing with this issue to get the strength to do what they need to do in order to protect their sobriety. Some of the reasons why people undermine your sobriety, those closest to you, especially your partner. Okay. One, they want to keep control of you. They want to keep control of you. See, because although they may complain about your alcoholism, somebody who is drunk, somebody who's consistently high, they're easy to maneuver. They're easy to control, easy to get to do things, whether it's funny things to videotape on the internet, easy to manipulate, easy to get money from, easy to talk bad about, easy to disrespect. Control. During slavery, they kept slaves drunk. I wrote about this in my book. My Uncle Blease telling me in apartheid South Africa, they alkalized all of the water sources. So the people the indigenous people of the land, the Africans, the only water they had to drink, including the babies, the children, the pregnant women, everybody, had an amount of alcohol in it to keep them easily more controlled, right? And you have to understand is many of you are in relationships where you're dealing with the partner that is using your alcoholism to control you, or will use it to control you. They're not making you an alcoholic. You're choosing to stay in that state. They're using it to their benefit. Yeah, the person sitting right next to you, your wife, your husband, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your side piece. Yeah, using it to control you. And the more sober you get, the more you take back control of yourself. We talk about self-possession of one of the superpowers of sobriety. And that is a threat to the control that they have over you. Something to think about. Another reason why they want to keep you in an addicted state. They want to avoid personal accountability for their own shortcomings. Because see, one superpower that you gain from sobriety, it's the first one listed in my book, organic clarity. Now that clarity comes with a whole lot. There are many people who relapse because of the clarity. But one thing it also does is it makes you see not only yourself for who you are, but it has you looking at everybody else around you for who they are. Not the idealized pie in the sky version, but the honest to God individual that you're dealing with. Good and bad. Capabilities and limitations. The pleasure they bring you and the pain, right? The profit, the cost, all of that becomes very clear. And what happens is you start building yourself up, you're taking back control of your life from everybody, including those you love, that have learned to use it to their advantage. Okay? You're holding yourself accountable. And guess what happens when you start holding yourself accountable? You know what you start doing? You start looking around and you start speaking up about things that other people need to hold accountable for themselves. They don't like that. Insecure individuals hate accountability. Okay? And once you start taking accountability for yourself and you start raising the standard, your personal standards, what happens is you start demanding the raising of standards of everything around you. Because you start looking better, which means you start buying better clothes, which means you start cleaning up your house, which means you start cleaning up the inside, which means you start cleaning up the outside and everything around you. And that includes the people around you. Because as you get sober and you stay in it, the people around you become of better quality. I tell you about bulking and cutting. You start cutting low-grade people, low vibration people. And you start attracting people of high vibration, people of greater quality, because you're becoming it. You're seeing it, you're being it, and you're attracting it. Okay? And those around you that are still running in place, which used to be above you, that gap starts closing. That gap starts closing in. And what happens is if they're not ready to keep up with you, this happens. And when you're dealing with a thought, they're gonna run in place. They're gonna comfortably stay on the treadmill while you running on the road. And at some point, when you were drunken down here and they used to look down at you, you might even down here say, well, what about when you do this? And they say, yeah, but you're a freaking drunk. Yeah, but you need to worry about you and da-da-da-da-da. And to a degree, they're right. So you start worrying about you. Hey, maybe where you at? You start getting sober. You start cleaning up your life. You start washing your ass. You start watching your language. You stop putting dangerous foods in your body. And they're still here, drinking, doing what they do. And then what happens? It's the same thing on the work site. As a black man, I see it all day. The boss loves the janitor until the janitor goes to apply for his job. And he's looking across the table at him. Once that happens, now it's competition. Now they ain't buddies no more. But as long as you down there under him, oh man, oh drama, we love, oh yeah, this is great. He keeps the toilets clean. Always has paper towels in the executive bathroom. I love that guy. Hey, well, he went back to school. He's been working his way through school, and now he's got his master's, and he's actually applying to become a supervisor. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, he I've always talked about it. He's a pretty smart guy. He seemed pretty well read, but I don't know about all that. Yeah. Thought-like behavior. That hater over there. And many of you have that issue. Many of you are dealing with people with haughty eyes and a proud heart. Okay? What is haughty? That's self-centered. They have a proud heart. They don't want to look at themselves. They don't want to be accountable. They want you to only tell them about the good. They don't want you to tell them about things that you may have exception with. But see, as you start cleaning yourself up, you kind of earn that, especially if you're tied to this person, you kind of earn the right to hold them accountable, especially if you love them, right? Because they had no problem telling you about what you were doing wrong, okay? But that unplowed field that you realize it's producing sin, and they come back to you, well, why don't you have a drink? Oh, and trust me, they know what they're doing. Yeah. She knows what she's doing. He knows what he's doing. You've been walking a good path, and they start suggesting moderation, knowing damn well you don't moderate. You ain't never moderated a day in your life. You got an on and off switch. It's not a dimmer. It's either drunk or it's sober. There's no in between, because we don't drink, you know what I'm saying? We drink to get smashed. We drink to die. We don't drink to live. You understand me? Because there's no such thing for us, right? It even says in the Quran, this is ayat, I believe it's, what is it? Hold on. Ayat 24 and 24, ayat 6. It says, and this is pretty deep. Hold on, let me get this thing from running at the bottom here. Get this ticker off. Okay, okay, there we go. All right, so this ayat says, okay, how do I turn? Jesus, I got a whole bunch. Oh, there we go. Wicked women are for wicked men, and wicked men are for wicked women, and virtuous women are for virtuous men. Virtuous men are for virtuous women. The virtuous are innocent of what the wicked say, for they will have forgiveness and for them and a generous provision. All right. So what you have to do is you've got to look at your significant other and say, I'm working on becoming a virtuous man. Am I with a virtuous woman? Hard question to ask if you've been with this individual for a while. But if you've been with this individual for a while you were in addiction, and you make that change, that transition, that glorious transition, you ride the great wave to the S, to sobriety, and they start showing signs of resistance, signs of making you go back to the old you, you might be out of alignment there. You might be the virtuous man, but you got to look over, or the virtuous woman, you got to look over and see, do I have a virtuous man? Do I have a virtuous woman next to me? And if not, there's some tough decisions you may need to make in your life. Some tough decisions. So what do thoughts do? Like I said, in general, they undermine your sobriety. Any move to undermine your sobriety. I told you guys about that. Unapologetic sobriety means you protect it at all costs. You stomp down about it, which means whether it's physical violence, verbal violence, a F you, lose it, go crazy, whatever you need to do to protect your sobriety by any and all means necessary. Absolutely. I got a saying, my God, my family, my sobriety, the rest of y'all come after that. That's how it goes. So anybody trying to undermine your sobriety, the closer they are to you, the more thought-like they are, because they are a bigger threat to you than somebody you don't care about. And if that's a wife or a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a husband, something to think about. They ask you, like I said, to celebrate with them. Oh, well, it's your birthday. Oh, it's my birthday. That's really how they get you. That's a sign of true insecurity. They want you to relapse on their birthday. When you're on vacation with them. They don't want you doing it on somebody else's birthday. That's another thing. And we're going to talk about that. Okay? I was actually watching an episode of BMF, the BMF series. And this is when your boy Charles Flannery, anybody who's seen it, meets his dad. You know, and spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen it, you know, he slips and he ends up stepping out on his wife with that little fine chocolate thing. Dang, man. She is bad though. But one of the things, what happened was just a quick thing. He's fixing, I guess he was over there fixing her light bulb or something, and she's kind of lightweight flirting with him, but he's cool. He's like, you know, I got to get home to my wife. Okay, I fixed it. Your light's working. He leaves. She brings him back to, of course, fix something else, right? And she invites him. I guess she found out that his wife was going on a church retreat. Oh, because she's in the same church. Cold as hell. So his wife's going on a church retreat, so he gonna be at home by himself. So she like, you know, why don't you come over I'm having a house party. Why don't you come on over and just hang out? He's like, I don't know. He's like, man, come on. I saw you grooving to the music I was playing while you were fixing my cabinet. Just come over and hang out. He was like, all right, cool. So he goes over there, right? And she offers him a drink. And he's like, you know what? I don't drink, I don't drink anymore. And she pulls this one. You a grown ass man. You know, the shaming tactic. You a grown ass man. I mean, you're a grown ass man. You can do what you want to do. This is just a little drink. And of course, let's be honest, he fell for it because he fell for it from the waist down. Shit, he fell for everything she was saying from the waist down. But I've seen this tactic. Like I said, clients, more than one, have been shamed, okay, when they're trying to hold on by people that supposedly love them, by people that supposedly have their back, but really they're just thoughts. Eve with the apple, leading them to temptation. And then, of course, once they leave, they're led to temptation and blow up. It's, what me? I didn't. It's the same thing. Here, grown man, he made a decision. But ain't got no problem using that shaming tactic. You know what I'm saying? Watch out for that. That's thought-like behavior. This one, now I alluded to this just a minute ago. This one is really reflective of one thing about thoughts. Thoughts are very narcissistic, incredibly self-centered, and incredibly insecure. Do it for me, guilt tactic. Do it for me. That's why I say they love pressing boundaries. I don't know how many TikTok videos I've seen where girls say, eat off his plate to show dominance. Or if he says, call me at this time, call him 3 hours later. Don't do what he says. Of course, they feel like you follow your boss, you follow your supervisor, you do everything to the T, but not for your man. Nope. Not for your husband. Nope. Not for your wife. Nope. But your homie says, hey, I need you here on time. You show up on time. Your wife says, hey, I get off at this time. Just kind of be there to pick me up. Yo ass, nope. You got to be Mr. Cool Guy and show up an hour later because you going to do what you need to do. Right? The do it for me. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. We're on vacation. It's my birthday. You know what I'm saying? We're having this toast. Do it for me. They connect love with the ability to be the person to make you lose it, to make you cross your boundary, to make you compromise your morals, right? Compromise your integrity. I've seen this all too often. I've experienced it. That's why I'm very big on, hey, once you draw them boundaries, you gotta be stomped down about it. Because they're not going to respect it. And trust me, they start playing hopscotch and jump rope with your boundaries, with the lines that you draw, once you allow it. So now, we're going to get into the hard pills. We're going to get into the medicine. So for any of you ladies or gentlemen who may be engaged in thought-like behavior, you said to yourself, hey, look, it ain't my fault if my significant other falls for it or chooses to do. That's what they choose to do. I shouldn't have to be responsible. I got you. Not a problem. But we're going to talk about, this is for now. Hey, if you want to leave, you can leave. But please, you can stay and listen to what I'm about to tell your significant other who is fighting for their sobriety. Whether you like it or not, really don't matter to me because I ain't talking to you. I'm talking to them. So, sir or madam, if you are dealing with somebody engaging in any of the behaviors that I've listed in the previous 50 minutes, okay, here are some things that may help you, some things you need to consider, and I would suggest you act on or consider acting on because everybody's situation is different. One thing you need to understand, hard pill number one, you may have to trade in your relationship for your sobriety. You may have to trade that bad boy in. I don't give a damn how long you've been married. I don't give a damn how long she's been with you, how long she's been your side piece. He's been your side piece. You've been married. If they don't change and they plan to be at war with your sobriety, as far as I'm concerned, they got to go. Period. Because that addiction is going to kill you. And I'd rather you live alone than die next to a hater. You might as well, hey, you may very well have to trade in your relationship for your sobriety. Trust me, I know. I know people who, when they were full-blown drunks, they stayed in their relationship. Their relationship ended years after they got sober. Because they got sober, they started changing, they started upgrading their life, and their partner stood in place. They didn't think the same, didn't act the same, didn't aspire the same. They weren't the same people because you're not going to be the same person you were in addiction. You're going to change for the better. You're also going to expect, as you deserve, better for yourself. And you're going to expect it because your sobriety brought it to you, not them. They didn't. Your sobriety did that. You did that in walking in your sobriety and sticking with it. And anybody who's going against that, they're going against you. So you very well may need to trade them in, upgrade them. You've outgrown that model. Hard pill. You may be sleeping with the enemy. You may be sleeping with somebody that you thought had your back, but you found out was just a self-serving thought that was there because you emotionally benefited them. You know, it's kind of like, you know, you guys hear about the pretty girl who hangs around a bunch of ugly girls to even make herself feel more pretty and in charge of everybody, but she don't hang with girls who look just as good as them because they feel like, you know, they disappear in the pack. Or the ball player, you know, he's 2 years older than everybody on the basketball team, but he does that because he wants to shine, because if he's with people that are at his same level, he's not going to look as good. That type of insecurity, yeah, well, you may be married to that. Your man may be that. Your husband may be that. Your girlfriend, your boyfriend may be that. Shit, your mom, your kids. Anybody speaking against your sobriety, you should automatically, one, give the cold shoulder, and two, be automatically suspicious about. I don't care who they are. Your pastor, your therapist, get the hell out of that office if your therapist is telling you you need to go drink. All right? Especially the person you're sleeping with, because you very well may be sleeping with somebody that's an enemy to your sobriety, an undercover, covert enemy that's so close that you keep giving them the benefit of the doubt. And if they've caused you to relapse once, they're going to do it again. They mean you no good. You need to get the hell away from them. I'm going to say it. And I hope that they're standing next to you to hear it. Your ass got to go. Another one. Now, I put she because I deal with a lot of men. She or he probably won't stop. They're not going to change their behavior because they're insecure. Period. They're insecure. Unlike you, they're not going to improve themselves. They're not going to appreciate your sober you. They're not going to appreciate the sober you until somebody else appreciates the sober you. That's how it works. Trust me. Okay? So these are some hard pills that you need to know. So once you get rid of this individual, or this individual end up cycling out of your life because you outgrow them, let's now talk about the other side. We talked about the thoughts. Now we're going to talk about the true ones. Now we're going to talk about the women that are part of the 12,000 followers we've got on Facebook that like the Sobriety in Black page, that offer encouraging words in the comment sections, that tell us as Black men, hey, it's great to see you guys having these conversations. I love it. I want to see more of it. The ones that have DM'd me, all of the beautiful, and I do mean beautiful, because I ain't gonna lie, I done lurked on a few of your little pages, and we got some baddies in the building, fellas. Make a few friends. You understand me? I'm gonna be good, because I gotta, I'm here for the S first of and above all. You know what I'm saying? But for y'all, hey, I handle this. Y'all handle, hey, we need to show some, I'm just saying, tap in with some of these ladies and show some mutual appreciation. You understand me? For the fact that they support the S, that they support the sobriety, they believe in the S. You understand what I'm saying? Go on and show them a little bit of love. Now, don't misrepresent us, fellas, and be in there all thirsty on some dumb stuff. Now you can let them know, hey, you looking rather nice today. Hey. Let them know. At least they know if they get a man, they're getting a clean man or a man that's trying to improve himself. Let them know that they have access to some high caliber individuals such as ourselves. You understand me? But for these women, this next part is for you. For the women that are part of the 12,000 on Facebook, part of the almost 2,000 on IG, on TikTok, that support us, support the S, that believe in the S, that appreciate men that are working to live alcohol-free and drug-free and addiction-free in our lives. And for the men out there, you know what I'm saying? But I'm a man, so I'm talking to the ladies. You understand what I'm saying? This part's for you. And for the men that are looking, okay, well, what kind of woman should I look for? Well, we're going to get into that. All right? So we're going to start with, most people know about this biblical scripture, and if not, it's an honor to be able to introduce it to you, all right? And that scripture is Proverbs 31. You want a Proverbs 31 woman. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to go ahead and share it, but if you got your Bible out, you can get out your Bible, turn to Proverbs 31. We're going to focus on verses 10 through 31. All right, Proverbs 31, 10 through 31. It's a beautiful guide on the kind of woman, all right, that you need in your life. And if you've got one, let me say that to my brothers out there who are married to women who do support them in their sobriety. Much love to you. You know what I'm saying? Much love to you. Let me make sure I give them their light and shine too, because there are brothers who have tapped in with me. You know what I'm saying? And wives that I've spoken to who are stomped down. They believe in the S. They push it. They help their men through it. They help them get to it and stay on it. Okay? And so to those women, those Proverbs 31, 10, 31 ladies, mwah, you get all the love in the world from all of us. All right? Thank you. But for the men that are out there searching, we're going to break this down. Let me go ahead and share this screen here. Just thinking about these ladies get me excited. You know what I'm saying? I get excited, boy. I get excited. Okay, let's go. All right, let's share this. This is Proverbs 31. I'm going to go ahead and read the whole thing. Well, I'm going to read 10 through 31. All right? And it's epilogue, the wife of noble character. That's what the title is, the wife of noble character. Goes like this. A wife of noble character who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She is like the merchant ships bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it is still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her task. She sees that her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. In her hand, she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with her fingers. She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. When it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. She makes coverings for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. Her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them, and supplies the merchants with sashes. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed. Her husband also, as he praises her. Many women do noble things, but you suppress them all. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gate. Whew! Just, I don't know, that whole little verse does something to me just to think about it. Okay? Proverbs 31, 10 through 31. In your sobriety, ask yourself, if you are with somebody, do they reflect this? Do they reflect this? Are they of noble character? Do they display noble character, which is integrity and selflessness? One of the difference between thoughts and true ones. Thoughts are selfish. True ones, those of noble character, are selfless. They display integrity. They're not fearful of you improving yourself because they want you to improve yourself. They want to be able to respect the man that you become or the woman that you become in sobriety. They want that. They are actually motivated to improve themselves because they see you working on yourself. They don't feel threatened. In this verse, you never hear it say anything about her lording over him or not, improving herself. If you look, she's a businesswoman. She's selling sashes. She takes care of her household, leads a household, but still has a business, still serves her household, respects her husband, and is honored at the gate. Right? What does it say? Verse 19, she sees that her trading is profitable and her lamp does not go out at night. Just because it's nighttime, just because it's her birthday, just because it's a change in the day, she doesn't say, okay, well, now I want you to drink with me because the day is different. Today's my day. It's my birthday, so I want you to drink from me. That light never goes out. Consistent. Just as you're working on consistent sobriety, sustained sobriety, you want a woman that shines consistent and sustained light. It never goes out. It shines for her, shines for you, shines for the household. You're working on sobriety so that you can shine for that household as well. You can shine for her. You shine for yourself. You shine for the household, and you shine for everyone around you. You're a representation of strong, confident, sustained sobriety for those who you don't even know that may see you from afar, for the benefit of humanity. First, for the benefit of yourself. Then for the benefit of those around you that you love. Then for the sake of humanity, right? For God, for family, right? You get sober. Then for the rest of y'all, right? That's noble character. What does it say here in verse 20 of that passage? She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hand to the needy. When you are struggling in your sobriety, shout out to all of the wives, husbands, or friends and family that are in Al-Anon. Al-Anon is like AA is for people in addiction. Al-Anon is for the family members of those in addiction. So if you are dealing with you got a husband that's in addiction, in alcohol, maybe he's an alcoholic and he's recovering and you don't know how to help him, because a lot of times that can be the case. I understand that. Check out Al-Anon. Just type in ALANON. Find the quickest Al-Anon meeting, go, and you'll be with a bunch of other wives, children whose fathers or mothers are, an alcoholics, and you'll be around your peer group where they share ideas, they got literature, all of that. And I may do a video on that as well. Okay. And you'll be around people who are enduring the same struggle. Okay. And you can get some advice and get empowered. Right. And so shout out to everybody that's in Al-Anon that takes time out of their day to understand and help contribute to their loved ones, because that's how you show love, right? Give me one sec here. People telling me about short attention spans. I don't care. If you want to leave, leave. I don't give a fuck. That's what the shorts are for. Sorry. All right. Appreciate the advice. Maybe I should. That's what the shorts are for. Watch the shorts. This is for me to run my mouth. All right. So she speaks with wisdom and faithful instruction is on her tongue. Right? Nothing but positivity for any positive endeavor that you are engaging in. Hold you accountable when you think about slipping. Positive wisdom. She may have advice, some instruction for you, and you keep your ears open to that instruction. Right? And she should be the type where if you have a concern with her, you can, her or him, whoever your partner is, they should be open to listen as well. Right? Because remember, as it says here in 30, charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting. But a woman who respects the Lord is to be praised. All that is good, because that's all the Lord is. That's all God is. Good, positive, for the benefit of humanity. If they respect that and they contribute to that, they're to be praised. All right. And at the end of the day, to conclude, honor her for all that her hands have done and let her works bring her praise at the city gate. So I want to close out by bringing you praise for those true ones that are not thoughts, those that are not undermining attempts at sobriety, but helping to empower their partners, their husbands, those men that are empowering their wives to get over their addiction and sticking with them through the trials, enduring the hardness as a good soldier, right? I want to give you praise. I want to say thank you on behalf of the sober community, on behalf of those who are trying to retire from alcoholism or retire from drug addiction. I want to give you praise. I want to say thank you. I want to let you know that we love you and we appreciate you for all that you do. All right. So that's the end of that. Hope you got something out of it. I just felt like it needed to be said because I've heard of too many of my brothers out there who are struggling and dealing with partners that have been consistently undermining their sobriety. And this has to stop. Some of you out there may have to make tough decisions. You may have to end the relationship. You may have to get a divorce, get a breakup or whatever. And you may have to sit them down and say, hey, that's what's going to happen if you don't change, if you've got a problem. If you ever undermine my sobriety again, I have to reevaluate this relationship. And if nothing else, you may need to just do that. All right. But for those that got our backs, including those that are following on all of the platforms, much love to you. Remember, Believe in the S. As Snoop says, if you believe in the S, you'll be relieving your stress. Believe in that S, and that S is sobriety. I want to wish you a great day. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And until next week, peace.